Hi guys, Romans here, and let me present to you the new series I'm starting, A Guide to. This is going to be an additional series to my worst to best videos, which are my most watched videos on my YouTube channel apart from my music videos. And I love doing worst to best videos. These are kind of a big project videos because every video takes anywhere from 20 to 30 hours to make. And I love doing those and I will keep doing them, but I think these videos, worst to best, really make sense with bands and artists who are not active anymore and who have like bigger discographies to talk about. And so far I've been mostly picking the bands right. Like the last three worst to best videos were about inactive bands like Sabotage, Kiss, Gentle Giant, and even some from before like Queen or Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin, Rush. But there were also bands like, for example, Queensryche. And after I had made the worst to best video, they released their, as of now, the recent studio album, The Verdict, which kind of made my list out of date. And there are other bands like Iron Maiden or Halloween who have new albums in the works. And the moment they release them, again, those lists are going to be kind of out of date. So I want to keep worst to best videos exclusive to artists and bands that don't make records anymore. But at the same time, there are so many artists and so many bands I want to talk about, I want to recommend and spread the word about. And these bands are either active or don't have too many records under their belts, or may not even be like in the half of their discographies at this point, or even some bands that just have too few albums to like really do a worst to best for. So this is why I decided to start this A Guide to videos. And I was thinking about the name of the series for quite some time, because originally I wanted to call it How to Get Into, but there are already quite a few YouTubers who are using this name for their series about the same topic. Then I was thinking about the name Introducing, but let's say I do David Gilmour. Does he really need introducing? I don't think so. So that's why I decided to come up with the name A Guide to. And with these videos, if I go through a discography of a certain artist or a band, I'm gonna do it chronologically to kind of showcase the evolution, the changes, and the progression of the style. And I will tell you which records are the best, in my opinion, which are the best to kind of start with, and then which ones to go to next. And with artists who don't have such great discographies, I may just kind of go to the best records right away. And actually, this is the original idea I had for my YouTube channel back in, I think, 2016 when I wanted to start YouTube. This is, I think, like October 2016 when I started Instagram. And I was already thinking about doing YouTube at that point. And of course, the main idea was always to promote my music. But the second idea behind my YouTube channel was really this, to kind of, I went through many discographies at that point, like Camel, Gentle Giant, Yes. And, if you want to get into any of these bands, you can find a lot of pointers on the internet and a lot of the lists that will recommend records to you. But from my experience, way too often really great albums are overlooked, whereas some of the more average ones are kind of the go-to standard records if you want to get into a certain band. Of course, this is all purely subjective, like very, very subjective. So this is just my opinion. But mainly because of this, I decided to kind of start this series and to kind of give you tips with certain artists and bands, where to go to, how to listen to them, and so on. And actually, there was one attempt like this on my YouTube channel back in 2018, I guess. I made a 3-part video about Rush. The first video was about their 70s output, the second one about the 80s output, and the third video dealt with the rest of their discography. I kind of went through their albums chronologically, giving like separate reviews to all of their albums. And along the way, I was saying like which records to go to, depending on various preferences people might have. So I already started with that, but then I was introduced to the concept of worst to best, and I did Rush worst to best, and then I just kept doing these videos, and I really love doing this, but I also wanted to do something like this. I may also cover some of the artists I have already covered within worst to best videos, And now I mean mainly artists from back in the day when I didn't include audio samples in my worst to best videos, because every time I look at these old videos I'm like, it's such a shame that I didn't use any audio samples. So these may include Europe or Van Halen or some of these bands. Also, I wanted to originally include all of this information about the series in the first video I'm gonna drop tomorrow, about the first band I'm gonna cover. But, you know, the first band is not really going to be like the first video in the series. You know, like if there are 30 bands I cover, you can watch them in any order, and the first band is not really like the first video. So that's why I decided to do a dedicated video. Also, I was thinking about covering these bands within the best insert music genre has to offer series. I made only 2 videos as of now, and they were AOR exclusive, and I decided to keep it AOR exclusive, and all the other genres or bands are mainly going to be discussed in a guide 2, which is once again going to be an additional series to Worst to Best. So thanks a lot for watching, and be sure to check the first band.